Reason for this public hearing is to discuss the combined sewer overflow public information meetings. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Powell. Right?
I'm Regina.
Regina, oh well, I was completely off.
You're fine.
So, she used to work for you guys, I do remember her.
Who?
There was a Powell, right?
Nobody's.
Who works now?
Oh, maybe so. Anyway.
Well, he was close.
I was close.
He's
I don't know
close.
how the syllables and everything looked in my head and how it came out to
Very
different things.
close.
So anyway, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Hi guys. So this public meeting is to inform the public about the combined sewer overflow that happens in the city of Assumption. Based on the NPDES permit requirements, it's a necessity to do this semi-annually, at least in person. And then we just submit a report at the end of the year. So you guys have the presentations with you. We turn to the second page. You have the meeting agenda on there. If anyone hasn't signed in, please do sign in. We're going to be discussing the public notification program, the pollution prevention plan, the operation and maintenance plan, and the long-term CSO control plan. Assumption submitted a long-term control plan in 2017, which was approved, and based on that approval, the projects or sewer improvements have been planned. So pollution prevention plan is basically what we're doing. It's how we're going to stop the overflows, and the operation and maintenance plan is for the day-to-day assets, like how are you going to manage them, and how you can get down the O&M costs. Then if you go to page 4, you can see a map of Assumption. So what is CSO? CSO means a combined sewer overflow. It happens when communities like Assumption have a single sewer system that is carrying both stormwater and sanitary sewage. So that results in overflows when there's a wet event or there's a lot of infiltration and inflow in the system, leakage into the system. And so those kind of overflows, they are not good for the environment because they have untreated sanitary sewage in them. That's why the IEPA has asked us to eliminate those overflows, and hence the long-term control plan and all the sewer improvements we've been doing. So we've posted a warning sign near the leaflet pump station that shows where that outfall is, the CSO overflow. Page 6, it's just about how the community can help us kind of control this issue. The biggest problem is the flushable wipes that people use. They are not flushable. Please stop flushing them. They are not treatable. They clog every pipe out there, and they're a mess when it comes to pumps. So please don't. The next page has the combined sewer system map. So the yellow lines are the combined sewers that were there based on the old records that we had. And then when you go to the next page, we have the basins divided. These were the basins, basically areas that drain to one particular point or pump station. That's how the city was divided, and the improvements were planned. However, as we went on, we started with phase 1, which is area 1. And as we went on, we found that the records didn't really match what they found on the ground. So the red line is the one that we planned for, and the blue line is the one that we actually got. After that was completed, we did a flow study in 2021, but the conclusion or the results of that flow study did not give us any kind of data or indication that it affected the combined sewer overflow anyway. And that's why the next improvements were, we just proceeded with it. That was phase 2. Now, when we were finding more data and the way phase one turned out to have a little bit difference in the drainage area, the same way it was found that areas 2 and 3, they are connected. So if you want to stop that sewage overflow near the Leaflet pump station, we have to treat them together, separate them at the same time. And so when you go to the next page, the 20-year plan was what we can see. The phase one was the southeast section, area 1 that we completed. Phases 2 and 3 used to be separate, but now they're one, and they will be completed in 2025. The construction of those is ongoing. And phase 4 is the northeast section, but that would only happen once we have a flow study and we see the effects of separating these sewers at the end of the construction of this project, how much it has affected. You might end up not doing any phase 4 at all. So you go to the page 12, that's how the new drainage basins have come out to be. Area 1 was completed in blue. Areas 2 and 3 are the ones in red with the filling. They show where the construction is going on. And area 4 is the remaining, which is kind of a future project, if required. The next page, page 13, shows exactly the location of the construction that is going to happen in phases 2 and 3. The construction is limited from Leafland Street in the north to Illinois Street in the south, and St. Peter Street in the west to Hickory Street and Louisiana Street in the east. The next page, page 14, shows exactly how much of the construction has been completed for separating the sewers. The green lines are the sewers and the green dots are the manholes. As you can see, the northwest part of the city is still being constructed. So that's where we are as of this week. On the next page, you can see that, so this was the 20-year plan that we had proposed in 2017, and it got revised to phase 1, which was completed. It helped us to remove all the infiltration and inflow into the sanitary sewage. It helped us separate the sanitary and the storm flow, which helps. Which helps the treatment plant when there's reduced flows that go to it. So we are still going through and removing INI, inflow and infiltration wherever we can find them. And at this point, over the years, the costs have been increasing. So by the time the entire plan is done, it's going to cost around 25 to 30 million. And that's based on the estimate that for phase 1 that we completed, we did that project in about 7.1 million. The current phase, we have a loan of about 7.76 million, out of which we got a forgiveness of 2.47 million. So the loan is about 5.29 million, and assumption qualified for a reduced rate. If you go to the next page, you'll see the funding opportunities. The state revolving fund, which has the water pollution control loan program, was the one that was used for phase 1 construction. And this time to use the same program, we got assumption qualified for a lower interest rate of 0.93% and got a 30-year loan term as opposed to the regular 20 years that we give out. We also got a principal forgiveness of about 2.47 million. And this cost, the entire cost of the project covers all the planning, design, and construction, which will be reimbursed by the IEPA. Other sources are the Community Block Development Grant, which gives us 100% grant funds up to a specified max. That limit changes every year. They haven't announced the limit for this year, but last year that was 1.5 million. That's a complete grant that we can get. But there's the Energy Efficiency Upgrade Grant, which is basically for any kind of electrical improvements that you make, like switching out old halogen bulbs into LEDs, stuff like that. And that kind of a grant is 80-20, so 80% is grant and 20% is local or the city contribution. Or you can do infrastructure bonds, which you can use planning, design, and local match for those. If you need to do, you find a local match for those. So basically, this is the update for the last 1 year. The construction is ongoing. We are in the phases 2 and 3, which have been combined this time. And they're scheduled to be hopefully completed by the spring of next year. And then we'll do another flow study and it will tell us what effect these projects really had. And based on that, we'll either have another project or just we'll be done.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, so like we have local farmers around, so they're not in the city limits, and they're putting in tile. So will that also flows into this system? So,
That tile doesn't flow into the sewer system?
And then it flows into Little George. That's what it flows into.
Separate conduit.
it's separate?
Yep.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Thank you very much for it. All right, we have no other items to bring up before this, we'll call the public hearing adjourned.